Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Will and welcome to Copper Jacket TV. So it looks like we finally learned the fate of Newsom's controversial gift, the .365 pistol that he received from Shawn Ryan on the Shawn Ryan Show. As a matter of fact, it looks like a California Assembly member is even looking into it. You cannot make this stuff up. You guys are going to want to stick around for this one, so let's get to it. Now, real quick before we get started, this video is proudly sponsored by American Heart for Gold. Listen, everybody in the firearms community understands the value of precious metals. Brass and lead could protect your life, but silver and gold can protect your savings. You know, in our lifetime, the dominance of the US dollar was supreme, but that may change soon. The stock market swings back and forth every day, and we're facing record inflation, increasing costs, and unprecedented tariffs. So don't let your life savings become a casualty of market crashes or tariff wars. In times of economic chaos like now, there is one currency that stood the test of time and continues to increase in value: physical gold and silver. Now, they can print more dollars, but they can't print any more gold. While the value of the dollar is tanking, the value of gold is hitting record heights, with many predicting that gold might reach $5,000 an ounce by the end of 2025. Now is the time to call the only precious metal dealer that I trust, American Heart for Gold. They'll show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your wealth portfolio with physical gold and silver delivered directly to your door. You can also transfer your current retirement account into a gold IRA, tax and penalty free, with the finest products, amazing customer service, and buyback commitment. If you contact American Heart for Gold today and tell them I sent you, they will give you up to $15,000 of free silver on your first order. So call them now. Click the link in the description or call 866-856-2507. That's 866-856-2507, or text COPPER to 65532. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here. So I'm sure by now you've all seen the viral clip of Newsom accepting the California compliant .365 macro from Shawn Ryan on the Shawn Ryan Show, and then following that up by saying how much he supports the Second Amendment. If you haven't seen the clip, here it is real quick.
Come on, man.
I don't know exactly what makes it.
By the way, this is too cool. So you just want me to TSA to take this from me and my ass is arrested at the airport. I'm on to you, man. Last thing people would expect is that I respect this gift.
Really?
I appreciate, yeah, man. I'm not anti-gun at all.
Now, he said some things while accepting that gift that really piqued my interest, like joking around with Shawn Ryan about maybe he's trying to get him caught up at the TSA, implying that his plan was to fly home with the gift, which really shouldn't be a problem except for California state law, his own state law. And so I made a video, I believe it was last Monday, where I proposed the question: after the interview was over, did Newsom break his own California state gun laws? Well, apparently that also caught the attention of California Assembly member Carl DeMaio, who also runs Reform California. As a matter of fact, he sent a letter, a questionnaire, to Pam Bondi of the DOJ, asking several questions, looking into what happened to that after the interview. Also sent the same letter to Rob Bonta, the California State Attorney General, asking the same questions, and we got an answer to that question. And you guys are not going to believe what happened. Now, to be honest with you, the press release versus the actual letter that was sent out kind of reads a little bit more like satire. It's just pointing out the sheer hypocrisy of these laws and how they need to be followed and whether or not he followed them. But again, it is mostly satire. You know, you can see here where it says it would be an absolute shame if the governor inadvertently violated one of his anti-gun laws, but the extraordinary hassle he now faces proves not only that he is a hypocrite, but that the draconian gun laws he imposed on regular Californians should be scrapped. Now, even though this press release is kind of tongue-in-cheek and it's kind of intended to show you how ridiculous California laws actually are and the hoops you have to jump through, there is one paragraph here that tells us exactly what happened after the interview was over. So it says here, but DeMaio's office has now learned that off-camera, Newsom rejected the gift because of compliance rules and left the firearm behind in Tennessee. Newsom's team has since admitted that California's anti-gun laws are so complicated that they had to hire legal counsel to conduct a legal review. Now, I'm not joking when I say that when I first read that paragraph, I almost laughed myself out of my chair, because you're telling me that the governor of the state of California, the guy who's either been near or at the governor's desk for almost 2 decades now, because before he was governor, he was lieutenant governor, the guy who came up with a bunch of these laws and signed a bunch of these bills into law, needs legal counsel in order to understand them. That's how bad it's gotten in California. It's so overwhelming that even their legal counsel said, forget it, just leave it here. It's too much of a hassle. It's too much trouble to actually go through, and we can't quite figure it out, so we're just going to leave it in Tennessee. That's basically what this boils down to. He couldn't bring it home, or he couldn't accept it because of his own laws. Now, while it's funny that he got screwed over by his own gun laws, what's not funny is the regular people have to deal with these laws on a daily basis. And do you think that he's going to go back to California with his eyes wide open saying, wow, you know what, that's actually really difficult. Maybe we should roll back some of these or make it a little bit easier for people to be able to practice their right that I said that I respect and support? No, of course not. He's going to go back to doing exactly what he did before. It was all just for show. Everybody who lives in California, everybody who plans on visiting California, as a matter of fact, people that are just, there temporarily, all have to deal with this all the time if they want to practice one of their enumerated constitutional rights, a right that existed before the Constitution, as a matter of fact. These are rights that are just there to protect the government from infringing on them, which apparently doesn't stop California whatsoever. But he got a taste of exactly what it's like for regular people to try and understand California's own laws. And yet, of course, he's not going to do anything about it. He's not going to change his position whatsoever. But hey, it was a good PR stunt, right? It was a good opportunity, good photo op. And, I guess all press is good press when it comes to that type of thing. So I guess he probably got exactly what he wanted out of it. And that's the end of it. And he'll just leave it back there, while the rest of everybody else continues to live under these absolutely ridiculous laws. So anyway, I wanted to let you know about that. The hypocrisy, the ridiculousness of it all is just absolutely incredible. But at least now we know the fate of the 365 macro. Still in Tennessee, apparently.